He can, like, fast speed ruination or what? Greetings, freaks and folks, this is Vlad the Lad. Riot keeps shooting at champions at us with a rapid-fire gun. And today it's Senna! But not the actual follower, it's a champion, Senna. So probably we will have double Senna in the future, we will see about that. And without further talking, let's actually dive into this trailer right here and react to this. Let's go.
For the wicked, for the dead, I bring rest.
She embraced her curse. But by the way, I think she is from Shadow Isles. Actually, I have seen that before. I had a glimpse at the spoiler, unfortunately. But I thought that she would be from Shadow Isles anyways, and she is actually.
You could say I got a...
So she's a 5-drop, and she has a 4/4 body with quick attack, yet again, as the follower Senna also has, but the follower has a 4/2 body, she has a 4/4 body. And it says, when I'm summoned or attack, create a darkness in hand if you don't have one. Alright, I guess darkness is nothing that's only reserved for Veigar. She can also produce darknesses, so this is probably another pre-build archetype, I assume. Like, we have seen this with Lurk, where we have these two Lurk champions that you have to run together, or you have a bad Lurk deck. And here you probably will have to run Senna and Veigar together, and if not, you have a bad Senna deck or a bad Veigar deck. But let's read on here. It says on you damage and kill spells accelerate too fast. What? Wait, what? You damage and kill spells accelerate too fast. Holy smokes, what the... I have to go back to look at all the cards that are slow speed, but what the hell? You can, like, fast speed ruination or what? Man, this effect alone makes her so viable. I mean, she is a 5-drop, so she comes in pretty late in the game, but damn, this ability alone, you damage and kill spells accelerate too fast. I mean, I don't know if ruination is a kill spell per se, but it actually says kill all units, isn't it? So it should be a kill spell. Alright, and level up. I've seen you slay 3+ units with spells or an allied Lucian die. Okay, so you can actually build this for Lucian as well. She stays with this level up thing that her follower also does, the follower form. She gets a +1/+1 double attack then. And here she levels up from that. So maybe a Veigar, Senna, Lucian deck?
Feels good to hear that again.
I mean, that's crap, isn't it? You have to pre-build Demacia with Shadow Isles. Yeah, there the darkness becomes fast speed.
Burn away the shadows.
Alright, and I guess these followers get boosted up if something dies. I haven't seen them yet. There's encroaching mist from... Oh, he can level up. Oh, holy shit! I think this was probably the best one out of all of the animations so far. I have to see it directly again, sorry. It was just so good.
Sentinels, carry the darkness! Fight for the light!
Oh, that's fire, dude. Alright, and she's leveled up, and it says, when I'm summoned or attack, create a darkness in hand. If you don't have, so this stays the same. Your damage and kill spells accelerate too fast and cost 1 less. Alright, so it's basically not that much of a difference between the leveled up form and the non-leveled up form, but every spell costs 1 less. I mean, it's still a big deal, don't get me wrong. But it's not like, you know, Teemo, for example, who now Nexus Strike doubles all buff caps, for example. This is a very sick effect. Or for the new Veigar, for example, it's a very much of a difference if you target with the Darkness to Nexus or the units, and you just get to reduce their cost by 1 mana. But still a very decent effect. I love the music.
Don't have any warning shots.
Lucian!
What was it like?
Oh, what's that? An Ishtali, I've forgotten how you pronounce it. Ishtal. I think it was Ishtal. Sentinel, it's a 6 mana 4/5, and it says when lifesteal. This is very important, and it says when I'm summoned, create a darkness in hand if you don't have one. So yet again, another follower that's creating darknesses. When you play your next darknesses around, copy it, targeting the enemy nexus. Holy smokes! I mean, if you already have a leveled up Veigar and you target the nexus anyway, you double up on that. But I think at that point you probably don't even need 2 darknesses, but this is hell of a finisher if you play that. And the double darkness on the enemy nexus with the level up Veigar. It's a hell of a finisher, dude.
To die. Not like living. Pain,
It's such a weird follower with lifesteal.
Bury fear, bury doubt.
Lifesteal and the darkness effect. You could have killed that. You just discarded with the X.
Darkness and light. But I look right first. Turn it against them.
Oh, what was that? Drain 5 from unit. What? Piercing darkness. I guess that's sort of from her cannon, you know, a big beam. Drain 5, so it's a heal. I think technically it's 6 mana normally, and maybe even a slow speed spell. We don't know because Senna's on the board. It's fast speed anyways. But draining 5 is a ton. I mean, this is a Grasp of the Undying. It's costing 5, right? And you drain 3, and for 6 mana you drain 5.
Against them.
And a little darkness. Yeah, so here they use darkness just for unit removal. It isn't even with a Veigar.
Battle's done. Back to the war.
Back to the war. Oh, great. Alright, so here we have the cards that were revealed in this video. Yeah, so Piercing Darkness is a slow speed spell. Otherwise it would be, I think, just generally better than the Grasp of the Undying, just for 1 more mana, draining 2 more. But the fact that it's slow speed makes it way worse, and I think you don't play it without Senna then? Maybe? I don't know. How good is that? I mean, for 1 more mana you can play Vengeance, right? And I don't think you would run a slow speed drain 5 without Senna. But damn, this combination, like we saw in the video, you can just turn an attack so easily. We've seen it with Grasp of the Undying, where the enemy thinks open attack will give him the lethal, and they can just pierce the darkness to victory. And yeah, then we have the Demacian Sentinel here, which is a 1 mana 1/2. It says the first time you kill a unit with a spell, grant me +2/+1. And it has Fearsome. Dude, it's pretty decent. Like, it doesn't give you tempo in the first place, but a 3/3 with Fearsome is pretty dope. And the fact that, yeah, I mean, you could compare this a bit with the Bark Beast, right? And it's way easier to enable the Bark Beast as opposed to killing a unit with a spell. But if you run this, for example, in maybe a burn deck even, where you have a Mystic Shot and open the path by shooting away the enemy units, and then you give this a +2 attack boost, and we have a 3/3 Fearsome, I could see this. And then we have the Burrow Sentinel, which is a 3 mana 3/3, also from Shadow Isles, Fearsome, and it says the first time you kill a unit with a spell, grant me +2/+1. Okay, so it has the same effect, but you pay 2 more mana for a +2/+1 base stats, so it becomes a 5/4 with Fearsome. Yeah, really hard to rate these. I think in the right deck they can really shine. Like I said, with a Mystic Shot, where you have sort of control type deck. I could also see this with Kindred, for example. These decks didn't work out in the past most of the time, but maybe these followers will patch up a gap that was that Kindred decks were having. We'll see about that. Okay, so let's hop on to Mobalytics to actually see the rest of the cards. And welcome back. We are on Mobalytics, and we start with the Catalog of Regrets. It's a 4 mana landmark from Shadow Isles, and it says round start, create in hand a fleeting copy of a non-fleeting spell you cast last round. Okay, so I guess it's random. But it's resummon thing, so it's basically a leveled up Zillion in a sense, but it's only with 1 spell. And it's an ongoing value engine, right? You play Val Feast, for example, you drain ones, create a spiderling, and next turn you can do the same thing again. You do this with a vengeance, you kill a unit, next turn you get a free vengeance in hand, and so on and so forth. So I think this is actually the first time where we see a bit of a higher priced landmark that's actually viable. I could see that. If you look at all these 5-mana landmarks that are existing in the game, there's a lot of trash in it. And as my first impression, this could be a pretty legit card, Catalog of Regrets, because 4 mana is still an okayish mana to pay. If you have, for example, yet again, a sort of control-based deck, and Shadow Isles is known to be a control region. So definitely a really good card. Then we have the 3-mana Solari Sentinel, which is a 3/2 body from Shadow Isles, and it says when I'm summoned, create a darkness in it. We don't have one. Okay. So we have the Solari Sentinel, we have the Ishtali Sentinel, and we have Senna, and we have the other reveals from yesterday. We have the Darkbulb Acolytes with darkness, creating a darkness, and we also have Vega creating a darkness. So we have now a shit ton of followers and champions that can create darknesses. And I think it's, like I said, probably similar to the Lurk thing, where you want to run both of them together anyways, and you run the full package and you just create your darknesses over and over. And then you can play them at first speed with Senna, and then you can go face with Vega. This is, I think, one of the best ways to play this archetype, because it's just more consistent. This is the main issue with it. Then we have the 5-mana Mistkeepers, which is another Shadow Isles card. It's a 3/4 body, pretty understated, and it says each round the first time you slay a unit with a spell, summon an Ephemeral Mistwraith. Whoa! So another Mistwraith card. Really happy that this archetype gets more love, because I was building decks with this in the past. And here we have an ongoing engine for Mistwraith, but I don't know how these two go well together. Like, you would probably still play mono Shadow Isles, and then you slay before you attack, actually, because you can't, open attack and proc him at the same time. Like, you have to have him on the board, then you get the attack token, you kill something, then you get a Mistwraith, and then you attack, is the order. So you always are a bit slow in a sense to make actually use of these Ephemeral Mistwraiths, but you can also use them to pump up your other Mistwraiths and to kill something on your enemy turn and just have a good blocker, right? So it's versatile in that sense, but still really, really expensive. Yeah, but definitely something to consider. And then we have a 4-mana 2/4 body Watcher on the Isles. They're all pretty understated for what they cost more, and then they have a really strong effect. Let's see what this does. Watcher of the Isles on the Isles has each round the first time you slay a unit with a spell, deal 2 to the enemy nexus. Holy smokes. This is also close to an leveled up Ezreal, but instead to any spell you just have to slay something with a spell. So yet again, for the same archetype probably, where you would run the Burrow Sentinel and the Demacian Sentinel, you run the Watcher of the Isles to have a constant, also a win condition, right? You slay units on, and then you knock down the enemy nexus little by little. Yeah, definitely liking this sort of approach. And then we have a big follower, the 8-mana Des and Ada. I think they are probably friends of Senna. I have no clue. Maybe you can help me in the comments with some lore. And it's a 7/6 body from Shadow Isles. It says when I'm summoned, create a darkness in hand if you don't have one, yet again. Your next darkness this round costs 0 and deals 2 to all enemies. Holy. Okay, so they really love their darknesses. And there are now a shit ton of ways to create a darkness. And this one just makes it so it's cost 0 and you deal 2 to all enemies besides that. So it's a one-sided avalanche yet again. Sort of the Hexite Crystal that we saw from the Fallen Feline is the name. But yeah, here you just do a big boost and then 2 to all enemies. But not to the Nexus, it's important to note here. And then we have, unfortunately, a 7-mana slow speed spell as Senna's signature spell, so this probably makes her worse. Let's see what it does. It says kill an enemy and give all enemies -2 attack this round. Yeah, it's kind of bad. But wait, never mind. I I just realized, yeah, Senna has this ability, right, where you damage and kill spells accelerate too fast. So this is technically a fast speed spell if it's a signature spell in your hand. Because only if she is on board, the other Senna will convert into the signature spell. So you almost never want to main deck this, because Vengeance is always the better card. I think there's no doubt about it. If you have Senna decks, probably you will run an extra copy of it, maybe. I'm not so sure, but even then I think Vengeance is just way better. Because you do not always have a Senna in hand, but you can at mana 4, for example, if you have 3 banked spell mana, you can play the Vengeance anyway. And then you want to have it fast speed for sure and at slow speed. But for her as a signature card, like many others, very, very nice to, yeah, just hold a really big attack, lowering all attacks at fast speed if she's on board, and then you don't even have to block a lot of things. The Dawning Shadow. Yeah. Man, what a dope champion. What a dope release today. So excited to try this out. I hope you are as well. Also excited about the Catalog of Regrets. Loving this, but it's a bit hardly concentrate on the darkness. Don't know how I feel about this. But theme-wise, it definitely makes sense and will be a lot of fun to play, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey with me. If you haven't already, here on top of me, you can do the subscribe thingy, and there you'll find another video and reaction video from me. And other than that, I'll see you on the next champion reveal. Until then, you're still legendary. Blood out.